morning, everybody. Hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend. We are back home in the office in Melbourne after being away for 3 weeks up north and literally home for 6 days, and then off we go to the Gold Coast, but this time for a holiday. So I'm very excited to have a bit of R&R, but it's not over yet because tomorrow we're doing Geelong and then Melbourne on Thursday. So we're still at the end of the national tour, finishing with our home cities, and then off we go. Good morning, Karen, Stacey, Esther, Amanda, Ronald. Great to see you guys. I thought this morning I'd come on and talk about the 10 business musts versus shoulds. I don't know, we've all caught ourselves into saying we should do more of that. We should be doing this and all that sort of stuff. However, if you want a successful business, there are certain things that are musts versus shoulds. And over coming up to my ninth year anniversary. Oh, by the way, happy April Fool's Day and the first day of autumn. It's bloody freezing. I was in humidity of 30 degrees for 3 weeks, and then we got home and it was just 14 degrees, and we are just reclimatizing only to go back up to Gold Coast on Saturday. So it's a bit of a woo up and down in the temperature. All right, I'm just going to do a little bit of my shares that I normally do across to the groups that this also goes out to, and then we can hit start exactly obviously at 9 o'clock. So I'm just going to do my sharing the Ultimate Business Support Group and you also your way to riches. Awesome. And it was fantastic to see my kids after 3 weeks away on the road. We spent some quality time on the weekend, caught up on some of our family shows and just relaxed really on the couch. The boys went to the football and the girls hung out, and we went a bit of shopping. It was a little bit like Christmas on the weekend here because we wanted to reward everyone for everything that happened the past 3 weeks when we were away. Even getting cold in Queensland. Tamara says, good morning. All right, so the clock has stricken 9 a.m. exactly on my computer here, Melbourne time, which is when we meet each and every week to talk all things small business, mindset, leveraging, outsourcing. I mean, I have so many content pieces that I have prepared for you guys, but today I thought let's talk about the top 10 business musts versus shoulds in no particular order. We're going to go through them, and I'm going to give you some insight and ideas as to why they're so important, and you know, maybe rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10. How much are you paying attention to each of the 10 actions or strategies or whatever it's going to be? So I'm going to start at the top of my list, and number one, most of you who know me would know I'd probably put this one as the first one to discuss, but number one is networking. Okay, so networking, the old saying, your network equals your net worth, it is so, so true. And for those of you who've been to my events, you know, and I'll speak about that in my planner. Where is my planner? At the top of every single week, I have got which are my top 2 events. Like my 2 events this week are. So each and every week in my planner, ever since the beginning, I used to write down and make it a golden rule of thumb that I would go out networking twice a week. Going out networking twice a week builds your circle of who knows you, who you know. And not only is it positive in terms of finding collaborations and potential clients and, you know, ways of solving problems in your business, but it's also really valuable because people look to help you, vice versa. And when you become friends with people over a period of time because you turn up to events regularly, then people are more likely to trust you and therefore help you grow your business. Francesca's brother is famous for saying, and this is comes a saying from her word that she says that he told her, where there are people, there are opportunities. And that runs so, so true. Whenever in my early days, of course, I didn't have the revenue to be able to reinvest in the business to do paid advertising like we do nowadays. The last 4 years, we have heavily invested into paid advertising. But back then in the early days, networking was the way to get known, find potential prospects, collaborative partners, joint ventures, and all that sort of stuff. And it was great for developing warm relationships that in time things would eventuate. So few people actually put in the consistent effort. Some people get out there and do it, and then stop and go cold turkey and don't do anything at all for a long time. The key to making networking work successfully for you is to commit to a couple of networking groups, to become a member of them, and then to go consistently, and then turn up to other events now and again, wherever. In time, your networking efforts will shift and will evolve to different activities, but they should always be present where you are out and people are finding out about you, and you and vice versa. Nowadays, as I have said, my networking used to be at other people's events. I used to be a member of certain groups and all that sort of stuff. Over a period of time, it started to shift slowly, where I got invited to speak at a lot of events. So my networking occurred by me being the speaker. And now in these last couple of years, it's heavily been my own events. I host my own events around the country, and therefore I get my networking done while I'm hosting events, workshops, seminars, all that kind of stuff. So I still tick off my 2 off in a list, except from being an attendee to being the speaker to now hosting my own events, and or a mixture of all of those is how I keep getting out there and meeting people, people meeting me, and so on. If you keep the momentum going in this way, there's no way your business is not going to succeed. The mistake people make is they start, they dabble in it, and then they get out and they go, this doesn't work. Or they turn up to an event or two, and then they think, oh, that's nothing. So what's the attitude you should have? The attitude is you're going out there to meet new friends. Right? That's how I always look at it. What new friendships will I develop? Because people will most likely help a fellow friend than someone who is looking out there and looking for ways to, find a client or, just get into bed with people straight away. So think about networking as dating and meeting people and warming them up and building a relationship so that it can flourish when they maybe into marriage. All right, so that's a big one. I mean, I've done so much on this and the attitude you need to have around it. But if you don't have a lot of cash flow in your business, usually early on you're cash flow poor and time rich. You might not be time rich, but in regards to what's happening in your business, then put that time into going out there and meeting people, and that's how you will get results in your business, so that one day you can evolve to the stage where you can invest into paid advertising, so that then you are going to be cash rich but time poor, and therefore generate your leads in a different way. But networking should be happening every single time. You've seen and you've heard people who are the most famous entrepreneurs or billionaires out there make the biggest deals on the golf course. And therefore, what's that networking? All sorts of events, gatherings, rank as networking events versus just thinking, oh, I've got to go to business networking events. So it's many different styles of events that are defined as networking. All right, number two is marketing. Okay, the top 10 business musts versus shoulds. So marketing. Sometimes people can go hot and cold with their marketing strategies as well. They'll market, they'll put stuff out there, they'll get a few clients. The business will it has grown. And then they stop. They think that because I didn't know too much about business when I started in business, I used to think, my dream is to have a fully booked coaching practice, and I'll get out there and I'd get my clients and all that kind of stuff. And once it is full, it's fully booked, then of course the momentum of word of mouth and all that kind of stuff will carry me through, and I'll no longer have to do marketing. Oh, little did I know, or how wrong was I, that actually marketing is a constant and never-ending activity within a business, unless you want to rely on word of mouth, which is actually a hope strategy and not a strategy at all. Anything that comes into my business that is word of mouth is kind of just a cherry on top, and I would probably attribute 5 to 10% of my business to word of mouth. But marketing and one of my other points, I guess I'll marry these two up together, but number 7 on my list was content development. Okay, so marketing and content development would go hand in hand, but it could also, content development can mean that you're developing new ideas, ways of teaching what you do, but also marketing content. We can throw that in as marketing content. So marketing is something that does not stop. So stop thinking just because you get to a certain point in your business that you can just stop and then everything, the momentum will carry you through. It's not quite like that. You do need to continue doing the things that work. Try and test and test and measure new stuff, but please don't stop doing any marketing strategies that are already working for you. Keep that going, because that could be the bloodline of your business, and to take your business to the next level, you might need to try new things to see how you can scale that. So businesses who do heavy marketing and stop altogether because they think, oh, I've got enough clients right now. The sales pipeline needs to be continuously nurtured and filled with potential new prospects, leads, all that kind of stuff that hopefully one day will eventuate into clients. So there's a kind of a mindset cycle when someone decides to work with us. They could have been watching us and following us from years ago, which happens a lot nowadays to me. Being 9 years in, people have said, oh my God, Nat, I've watched these lives for 3 or 4 years and now I've turned up to your event. So I've been building this relationship without realizing I've been building it. So right now, what am I doing? Well, I'm adding some value. So I'm doing content development right now. I am marketing my business without the need to go buy my stuff. I'm adding value, and if people like what I'm saying and they like my energy or how I speak or whatever it is, they might follow what I do, and they might come regularly to these Monday morning lives, and so on. Over a period of time, the trust and rapport is built, and one day you meet this person, you think, oh God, that sale was so easy. They just kind of signed up with me. Well, it didn't happen quite that way, because I often will ask my high-end clients, how did they come to working with me? Like, what was the decision-making process? And they'll often tell me this whole story. Oh, I've been on your database, on your emails, I've been getting your emails, or been watching your lives, I've been following this that you do, or I've read a few of your books, and now I'm ready. And often some of these people I've never even, their name hasn't been come across my kind of awareness. So marketing is something that is absolutely 100% must. If anything, out of all of these 10, I would probably, they're all important. I kind of go, okay, which one's more important versus another? Well, I can't really tell you, because they kind of, if one doesn't exist, the business will not have a consistent flow, and it'll have holes and become like a leaky bucket. So let's plug all of those holes in. So marketing is number 2. Number 3 on my list of top 10 business musts versus shoulds is sales. Okay, sales. So sales is different, obviously, to marketing. Marketing is all about lead generation. Sales is having the ability to communicate and establish value, and the ability to, close the gap for a person to understand that that you are or your product or service is going to be the solution to the problem that is keeping them awake at night, whatever that may be. Sales is, again, a skill set that does not come naturally to every single person, and it's something that is developed also through practice. But not just that, it is also something that you can learn from others, read books, watch videos, go to seminars and things like that, and slowly find your own way of how you sell your stuff. You don't have to be a textbook salesperson or follow how other people do it. You just have to find the way that you feel comfortable and at ease with, so that you feel integral, honest, and without feeling like slimy or what is it, sleazy, and all those feelings that people describe sales with. Hey Deanne, great to see you, and good morning to those of you that have joined us later. Let me know what resonates with you guys, and perhaps what are the things that you're saying in your business that I should do more of this, I should do one of this. So you must do networking, you must do marketing consistently, and now we're talking about you must do and sell. The biggest mistake small business owners make is not asking for the sale. Not asking for the sale, like letting themselves down. They go to networking events, invest time to go networking, invest time to market themselves. Yet, the one thing that they miss a lot of the time, because I observe it, they have no call to action. One of the biggest mistakes is not having a call to action. Every opportunity you have to stand up and tell someone what you do, it should be backed up by a call to action. That call to action doesn't have to be a big ask. It could be, hey, I just do these Monday morning lives on Facebook every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Melbourne time. I'm on. If you like, just jump on them. I just deliver some awesome value. That's a call to action, right? It doesn't cost them anything. They don't have to do it. They don't have to opt in and give me an email address. But if they're interested in what I'm doing more, they might check it out, and then that's where the relationship would getting start built. So it can be calls to action that don't require any commitment from the other person, or it could be small calls to action. I'm doing a workshop next week, a low-cost workshop. This is what it's about, blah, blah, blah. This is, if you have special or whatever it is, how can you ask people? Because people are not going to do anything without you going, here it is. Would you like to come along? Would you like to do this? Would you like to, solve this problem for yourself? They like to be told what to do next. So it's really important to listen, and then be able to communicate and sell. Okay, so selling is serving. Stop making it a dirty and sleazy word. If I didn't sell what I do, I would never be able to transform transform the hundreds of people's lives that have gone through what we do, and the hundreds of thousands of lives that these guys are on, helping themselves transform in whatever their businesses are. So the ripple effect is awesome, and when you can achieve that feeling of contribution where you've helped someone who's now helping others and so on, that is where impact comes, because we can only impact so many people, but the ones that we impact and we help build up their awareness and achieve their goals and solve their problems, they're the ones that are going to take it on further than us, and therefore will spread a much better a place to live in. All right, you guys, number 4 is the old holy but goody, admin. Okay, a business is to have your admin side of it sorted. Okay, now this could be a nightmare or annoyance to a lot of us. I can tell you, how many nights I stayed up till 11, 12 after a networking event. I'd come home and I'd have a certain system to follow up with people, to say what I promised, to just every time, there's a certain thing that needs to be done in the business. Of course, there is an administrative side to it. Of course, admin is something that we can outsource either to virtual assistants or personal assistants, but in the beginning of your business, certainly, most likely you will have to be that person for it, just like you most likely will have to cover off all of these 10 business musts until slowly you can go, okay, here's one to this person and here's another one as you grow and evolve your business. And I certainly can say that it's not a lot of fun. It can be very time consuming and bog you down, but ultimately once you get your admin stuff right, also what you're doing is you're improving your customer service, your ability to be an amazing communicator, and you are doing and you're portraying yourself as a professional. If there's a lot of leaky stuff in your admin, you will find that you will have things missing, unanswered stuff, and customer complaints. So this is really important to pay attention to and to make it one of the things that you refine and you systemize. So as soon as you possibly can, perhaps you can hire that virtual assistant who can help you out, because if you can hire a local person who can be your assistant, at least at the very least, this is what I started out with. We've had Lenny over 3.5 years, and now I've got Viv, who I just saw after 3 weeks being on the road. She came in this morning and she's my PA, and she has taken care of not just now the admin, I'll go to point number 10, but communication skills, verbal, written, and online. So these are this is another must in business, to master your communication, verbally, written, and of course how you communicate with people online. And one of my biggest reasons for hiring an additional assistant, having her physically with me, was someone who can actually be more in that customer service communications role, whereby I was the only one, because my virtual assistant was only doing a lot of the administrative computer kind of written more communication, but Viv can do a more sophisticated customer service driven communication, which is another aspect of what I used to take care of all myself. Now I've got someone else. So slowly these top 10 musts, one by one, over a period of time, I have started to outsource. But the two out of these 10, I haven't gone through all 10, that you are going to have to hold on to probably for a long time, and maybe you'll still have to play some aspect in it, but it is the marketing and sales that we discussed earlier, is that you don't outsource till the very, very, very end. Some of our marketing, of course, our Facebook ads is outsourced. We have a management team. However, content writing, content development, which we were speaking about before, Stuart still does, and he still invests about 15 to 20 hours communicating and working with our Facebook management team. So in a way, I have outsourced it. I still do a lot of it myself. Well, this is a marketing activity right now. However, sales is something that, we still all do it hands-on approach, to serve and to be able to, because people buy people, right? People buy what you believe and what you value, and you need to present that, because you have to be the living and breathing proof of what people want to become, right? Especially for the types of businesses that I tend to help and the people that we are working with. All right, number 5, aside from admin comes systems, right? Systems. So in order to outsource any of this, you have to have systems. It's a must. Business. When I started, I used to go, what kind of systems can I write? Well, what do you mean? Like, I used to think, well, I'm just a coach, right? A client comes, you sign up that client, you start working with them. Well, what system is there, right? But slowly, I started to realize, oh shit, you should onboard a client. There should be some kind of onboarding process. Email, welcome emails, and now we use asana.com, which is a project management platform. And this is where we've got our half-day systems, our new author system, our retreat system, our book launch systems, our masterclass system. So there's like different templates, and there's like 1,000,001 steps, not 1,000,001, but there's quite a lot of steps that you wouldn't want to hold right up in your head, because obviously you're the only one that can do them. So if you document them and put them in projects, then other people, of course, can execute and tick them off that list. So that's super, super important. It doesn't happen overnight. You build them as you go along, or when you do have staff and people who are in your business, get them to create them alongside you, and then you look at them and refine them and all that. So my VA and my PA now together, we build the systems, and then it makes more of a team effort, and it's not all just me. But in the beginning, if you want to give a job to someone, you are going to have to pretty much spell things out, in quite a lot of detail, because if you're not detailed, you will see the gaps in the execution when they do it, and you go, oh, but I thought they were going to do that. That's common sense. No. There's no common sense when it comes to systems. You need to get them sorted and in so much detail that nothing is missed. You can write and create systems, as I said, through templates, through project management software. You can have them, you have in procedure manuals, or a lot of the time I use video recording, screenshotted software, QuickTime on your Mac, and I just go click here, do this, That's my preferred way of doing it, because I like to get across faster, and presenting it more visually also makes it a lot easier for someone to follow and duplicate what you are asking them to do. All right, number 6 is know your numbers. All right, I know a lot of business owners are guilty of not knowing their numbers, not knowing what their profit and loss is, where their money is going, where are they investing it, how much is each dollar in advertising, bringing into the business, and all that kind of stuff. So knowing your numbers is so crucial, so that you're not living in this land of ignorance and then wondering why you might hit a cash flow, hell. From the early days, my own mentor said to me, Nat, document every week what you're spending, whether it's $20 you've gone to a networking event, or you've spent X amount of dollars on your stationery, or you've just earned $20 that week by selling one book, or whatever it is. Document every week. And it used to be a spreadsheet, you guys. It used to be a spreadsheet, income at the top, expenses at the bottom, and then kind of like a balance. And I'd do that every Sunday of the week. And I'd bring that out and I'd just keep it in a display book. I had no, amazing accounting systems and softwares in the very, very early days of the first couple of years. Then, of course, nowadays, using Xero, and you're inputting everything there, and you're looking at the cash flow and planning and all that. There's awesome reports in there. I still to this day have not, I have an outsourced bookkeeping a little bit. 11 o'clock this morning, Mum's coming over. She's finished all of March, like all the reconciliations and all that. I just got to check it off with her. This is something I did myself, but since she came into the business, I trained her, and the poor woman had to be trained in 3 different systems, because we moved from MYOB to Wave and then to Xero in a 12-month period, and she became a master at bookkeeping. But we still really keep our pulse on the numbers of where things are, what's coming in, are there any outstandings, things that you need to chase up, follow up, action, all of that kind of stuff. So yes, nowadays, of course, my mum's taking care of some of it, but I'm still checking it over. We're looking at the reports together. We're discussing things, talking to Stuart. This Friday, I'm booked into my accountant for my pre-tax planning. If you haven't done that, April is the month to do your pre-tax planning because you want to know, should I be putting extra money here, there? What's my tax likely going to be, so you don't get a nasty surprise? I can tell you, as your business scales and grows, you are going to have to pay more tax. That is good news, because the more tax you pay, it means the more profitable the business is. So that's what I'm going to be doing this Friday. So if you haven't done so, you don't do it, because your accountant will give you a very, very nice little summary. Of course, you can look at it and make sense out of it and know what's going on, but also another person's perspective into it can also go, okay, maybe we shouldn't spend as much on this or here, or pull back right there, or put some extra money in super, or whatever it is. Pre-tax planning right now in April. Do it. Book your appointment in. I'm going on Friday. All right, you guys, know your numbers was number 6. Number 7 was content development, and we talked about content development when it comes to marketing, but content development needs to also continue to happen within your business, whether it's writing new books, new manuals, new programs, things like that, to freshen up, to bring new, more relevant information in the background while you're still developing your intellectual property. You're continuing to read and refine your expertise. We talked about this last week. refining your expertise by reading more, watching more. Even though I know I know how to write a book or help 300 people, guess what? I continue to read books on how to write a book, because I think that I will find a new insight, a new way of doing this better and more effectively, and some tips and tricks that perhaps I didn't know thus far. Really important. So content development, something that you may not do on a daily basis. Well, you might if you're writing social media posts and all that kind of stuff, but you know, for the big things like, you know, a brand new fresh programs and things like that, you might bring one out every 6 months or once or twice every year. Number 8, which brings me to that exact point, is innovation, which drives evolution of your business. So innovating all the time. Okay, so you know, 6 or 7 months ago, we decided, okay, it's time to step up and bring the publishing that we used to outsource in-house, right? This was us innovating to a point that, okay, how can we bring better customer service, more resources, and open up a whole opportunity to be able to help our authors publish subsequent books and keep them within our system, and nurture them and have them as long-term clients. So generating and innovating towards the longevity and the lifetime value of our clients that are in our community. So that's really, really important. All right, number 9 is attitude. Okay, so attitude gives you altitude in life, you know, and it is a must, because if you don't stay and work on this, none of what I just said is going to be sustainable and with the ability for you to really scale it up. So your attitude, you know, I continue to meditate, to listen to personal development stuff, reading books, again, looking for life and time hacks that can make me more effective and productive, but also make me enable me to be able to think and reframe stuff for myself in different ways. This is so great. I'm going to watch the second part. So much ready for. Yeah, well, I just got fired up tomorrow. So fired up. So at moments it takes me maybe 5 or so minutes to warm up, but once I fire up and my brain starts to go into business mode, after all, it was the weekend and I feel like brain fried after just chilling out on the couch. So this actually for me, guys, this live, it's not only positive or valuable for you guys, but it really gets me into mode for the week. It gets my state up. It gets me to turn my business brain on and to start, thinking and going into that mode for the week. So it really gets me motivated and inspired myself, even though I'm delivering the content. All right, so number 10, you guys, I already touched on this one, and that was the communication skills, writing, verbal and online. Because if you can become an amazing communicator, and I'm often a bigger fan of over communicating over under communicating, because you can never over communicate, because you give people as much and then give them even more, so that you have less FAQs, right? Frequently asked questions, which is what happens. Exactly the thing that happens is that reduces, which means you win more time in your life. And by being able to set up the systems and the communication and all the backup videos and all that kind of stuff, like example, this morning I'm just about to go into my secret mastermind group for my authors and deliver a content piece, my live Q&A for them for the week, and I'm going to deliver a piece on timelines in terms of when you go into editing for your book. So what are the timelines they expect and what are each of the stages? Because a lot of the time they go, when am I going to have my book? But there is multiple 7 or 8 steps they have to go through. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go and talk about that. So next time I get asked by an author, well, how long will it take to have my book and all that sort of stuff? I go, oh, here's a 10-minute video. Why don't you watch this? This will explain your whole journey in terms of what are the time expectations around each of the stages, okay? And therefore, it saves me having to repeat myself time and time and time and time again. So reduce the repetition. You need to be giving your clients, of course, some stuff cannot be repeated. It needs to be customized. But if the repetitive stuff can be systemized and somehow documented, then you're going to save yourself a lot of time and you'll be able to run a super lean business. So I'm just going to summarize the top 10 for you guys. All right, number 1, 10 business musts versus shoulds. Networking. Number 2, marketing all of the time, not just some. Being consistent at all of these 10. Number 3 is sales. Number 4 was admin. Number 5 is systems. Number 6 is knowing your numbers. Number 7, content development, both for marketing and for intellectual property. Number 8, innovation, which leads to evolution. Number 9 is attitude, gives you altitude in life and in business. And number 10, communication skills, written, verbal, and online. So it's been wonderful to connect with you again this morning. Next week, I will be back up on the Gold Coast. If I get up in time, I will be on live. I'll do the live anyway. But we will be in holidays mode from Saturday for 11 nights up on the Gold Coast. And we're taking Mum up for the first time. Hey! Andrew, it's a super, yeah, Andrew, you know what? I buy these in Thailand. I've got another t-shirt in all sorts of different colors, and I can't wait to go back up there in June for some more Superman, Supergirl t-shirts. They have this special shop in this one shopping center that I always buy them from. Thank you, Esther. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this morning. If you jumped on late, go back to the start. There was so much gold shared this morning. And if there are any specific topics that you're curious about, you want to ask me any questions, I can create a content piece for you guys anytime, any place. And a lot of the time, the things I speak about on a Monday morning are usually the things you need to hear. That's why you jumped on live. Have an amazing week and go and smash it out. Bye.